The River Murray is one of Australia's mightiest rivers and is commonly referred to as the lifeblood of Australia. Humans have occupied the River Murray Valley for about 40,000 years. It's a brief episode in the life of a river that has been flowing for about 60 million years. Over that vast period of time, the river has seen many changes. Changes that include geological and hydrological alterations. The most significant change in recent time occurred when European settlement arrived in Australia around 200 years ago. The Murray is now regulated with dams and weirs that conserves and supplies water to support one of the most productive agricultural areas in Australia. The Murray is also harnessed for power generation, but all this comes at a price. The health of this ancient river is now under threat. Regulated water flow, compounded by the clearing of native vegetation, grazing of the riverbanks by cattle and wash from boats, is accelerating the natural rate of bed and bank erosion. Today we will take a closer look at the main causes of erosion in this 200-kilometre reach of the River Murray between Hume Dam and Lake Mulwala. Then we will look at some of the remedial options available to us. The River Murray has been likened to an irrigation channel, a channel that regularly conveys high flows of water to consumers downstream, and a channel that is now managed to minimise spillage onto the floodplain. Under natural conditions, the Murray would experience low flows for most of summer and autumn. In these times, the exposed rich riverbed soil would encourage prolific growth of native vegetation such as shrubs, grasses and reeds. This vegetation, along with dead trees and other snags, would help to bind the soil against the onset of high winter and spring flows. It provided a free and natural defence to the scouring action of floods. What we are seeing today under regulated flow conditions is a river that carries high flows all summer. As a consequence, there is less opportunity for vegetation regrowth on the riverbanks. Gone are the old natural ways that once slowed the river down, and now the river system suffers serious erosion. The consequence of constant high summer flow levels for lengthy periods results in an erosion scenario called bank notching. Bank notching is a common form of erosion in this reach of the Murray, and this has caused massive bank failure. Adding to this, of course, is the constant wearing away of the banks by river flow that is often referred to as fluvial scour. 150 years of cattle grazing along the riparian zone has had a major impact on the stability of riverbanks. The native shrubs known as the understory, a good natural erosion controller, has been removed by grazing, trampling and soil compaction. Camping is a very popular pastime along the Murray, particularly over holiday periods when thousands of campers occupy the river banks. In many cases, camping has been responsible for damage to existing vegetation and the natural regeneration of native plants. Timber is often burnt for firewood and the riverbank damaged by people and vehicles. It's rare to see successful revegetation programs succeeding at camping or picnic sites. Boating is a very popular activity along the Murray that includes fishing, water skiing and wakeboarding. The wash from these boats does impact upon the stability of the sandy riverbanks, causing both fretting of the bank face and large block collapses. In the 1970s and 1980s, 25,000 snags were removed from this reach of the Murray for the purpose of increasing flow capacity and to reduce navigational hazards. The impact on the river was considerable. The higher water velocities increased erosion. At the same time, native fish numbers declined because their aquatic habitat was changed. Juvenile fish need the protection of snags, and healthy fish populations need the many food sources that grow or aggregate around snags. With these pressures on the riverbank, willows were once considered a good cheap option for bank protection. However, these introduced willow trees have now spread so significantly that they have been listed as a weed of national significance and have been placed on the New South Wales noxious weeds list. Willows impede native regeneration and thus impact on habitat quality for native birds and animals. They can also detrimentally affect river flows and water quality. Willows are now being removed and replaced with native vegetation.